It's been a long time. I apologize. I've been lazy and doing other crap. I got a bunch of vibrant stuff. Be a little noisy. It's fucking hot. Got my fans going. This will get cleaned up. This is off my R33. I'm not doing an oil cooler on this. I know some people think it's crazy. Well, apparently I'm a dumbass. I'm doing an oil cooler. There it is. Okay. I forgot I had that mounted there. I've been flip-flopping, changing my mind so much on things. It's kind of hard to figure out like where I'm at anymore. I've been super hectic at work with some projects on my day job, and then we've been doing really good with selling parts. So there's a lot of good stuff going on, good and bad, but no complaints. So I have my Moroso block adapter and that fitting there, but on our website we now sell RB related oil filter, remote oil filter kits for use with oil cooler, and I also have one that has a thermostatic valve, and I have them priced pretty cheap. So head on over to KNSpeedFactory.com. I don't have it on this car because I already have this setup. I'm not going to spend money twice. It's just doesn't make sense. What I have over here is actually probably more expensive than what my kit is, but those kits that I'm selling are 100% Earls and Vibrant, and we provide a K&N filter, and you don't have to remove the plug for the oil pressure bypass relief for if the filter clogs, because these have, you know, pretty nice internal ones. I wanted to make sure this is going to fit, so that's where my oil filter is going to mount, here in the front. I'm just trying to figure out the best way to position it, because I'm going to feed out of the engine into the oil cooler, out of the oil cooler into the filter, out of the filter back to the engine. So I want to make sure I have enough room to get the filter off, and that's pretty much in line with the motor right there, so bear with me here. I'm going to back this off the threads a bit. Alright, it's on by one thread. Okay, I have plenty of room right there to mount, and I have a silver Sharpie. So I'm going to get that mounted up, and I'm going to get my oil filter mounted up, and everything will get nice and cleaned. And then I'm going to actually mount a second oil cooler right here, not for use as an oil cooler, but have a really nice power steering cooler. I need something that's more uniform for mounting the heat exchanger for the air to water intercooler setup that I'm doing, and I think it would just be better if I did it that way there. It's kind of silly though, I don't really need all that. I'm going to reassess that. I might end up just doing something different, doing some bulkhead fittings over there and plumbing up to the heat exchanger. So let me get my drill and I'll be back. I'm going to get some of this mounted up. It's the next day. I got sidetracked yesterday. It was actually getting ready to rain. I thought it was going to be this hurricane crap, so it's going to rain again, but I kind of just bailed out of it. Ooh, forgot my phone. But here we are, all cleaned up. Just cleaned it in simple green and water with a light brush. It wasn't too bad. Bentley is still doing Bentley stuff. This thing always starts right the frick up. So the brake pumps run off the camshafts on these. So it takes like a minute for it to build pressure. Now it's making a liar of me. Yep. And then usually after it runs about 30 seconds, the oxygen sensor, aka the check engine light, it will go out. Oh, there it goes. So that's pretty much everything. There's no computer on this, even though it's fuel injected. Mechanical fuel injection, so it kind of just tells you that the condition of the brakes, mineral oil, so brake fluid level, brake pressure, coolant. Ice, it just means it's cold outside. Fuel lamp, and then eventually the tail lights go out. So crazy how much money this thing was and how basic it is by today's standards. Oh, it's raining. It's like spitting though. It's not bad. What sucks is I'm gonna have to take all this apart when I do the bumper. Here we are. Picked it up 3 days ago up at the port. Down at the port of Baltimore. What's up, Nemo? 1995 R33 GTR. Very clean overall, considering this has been on a boat for 3 months, 2.5 months. Fernando and his partner Frank are coming over from Marone Auto Detailing to do a full detail on it. Stop following me. The only thing that's weird on this is the lip. They did a gel coat across it and painted it. It's a factory textured lip, and of course it's all spidered up. Other than that, it's got like a little ding there, a tiny ding on the hood, and 2 little dings on the trunk that PDR will take care of. I'll have to get a little bit of touch up, a couple little chips here and there, very small, light scratches here and there, but they're coming over today to do a paint corrective detail on it, full interior detail, and take care of the engine bay as well. I have a new cowl for it already. I ordered a Gretty lip for it, but I might end up redoing that one. Interior is actually very clean. Got different floor mats for it. You know, like pop these off, paint the wiper arms. You know, small stuff, you know. This is a pretty rare color on these. I think like 670 of them about. KN6. It's some people it does have a purplish hue, but it's not midnight purple. But it's like a purplish gray, but it's called like a metallic gray. The Series 3 lip on it, I'm 99% sure that's not a Series 1 bumper. I need to verify that. But yeah, here's before, and we'll get some video of the guys doing their thing on it. I popped this off. That was just me. I wanted to check to see if it had a factory computer in it, and it did. But ready for detail. It has been too long. I've been lazy, very, very lazy. So Bentley's out there, Charger's out there. Still haven't done a whole lot of work to the Charger. Waiting to get the Charger on the lift. I got this off the lift. So trans lines are done, oil cooler setup's completely done, wiring is most of the way sorted. It's got to do some cleanup. Send some parts out for powder. So my coolant adapter, these are my radiator lines here actually. Underneath, I'll show you. So I mounted the oil cooler on the bumper. I'm going to do the heat exchanger right on top of it. It's going to be air to water. Oil filter. So out of the engine, through the oil cooler, out of the oil cooler, through the filter back to the engine. I got some of the vibrant separators coming to separate these lines, and I'm actually gonna put the separator on top of that there. Trans cooler's plumbed in. That's one of the separators there, but I'm just waiting on a couple parts to come back from powder, and just gonna get the drive shafts made and get it wired up and get the fuel tank back in it. And hey buddy, and she should be ready. So I haven't been posting too many updates. I never have posted any updates on this, so this is the R33 GTR, super clean car. Got it detailed, has a lot of cool little parts on it that, you know, I knew that it had a stock, or I knew that it had aftermarket exhaust and an aftermarket steering wheel, and it had some HKS piping on it, and some ugly valve covers. So the valve covers are actually out, getting powder coated now. While it was out, I painted the intake, redid every single radiator and heater hose, coolant line, all the vacuum lines underneath of it. So that's all sorted out. On the initial inspection of the car, the one axle boot is broken, so gonna send those out down to Florida. Poor People Racing, Sean Kirby, he does a lot with GTR stuff, so let him take care of that. So as I was pulling the axles out, the front wheel bearings, they got a little bit of a grind to them, so I'm gonna order those and do those. And then these are not bad, but it has a tear in the boot, so it'd be stupid not to do that now. So I'm gonna replace those. Tie rods are actually in pretty good shape, so I'm not gonna mess with those. I had to pull the diff cover off to get the axle out, under trays off. So cool thing that I noticed when I picked the car up at the port, it had two-piece rotors. I'm not familiar with that red, like, I wasn't sure what it was. I knew that it had coilovers, but it has basically brand new Cusco coilovers on it, in really good shape. I was trying to figure those out. They're actually at Pepsi. I was able to find the logo on them today. Unfortunately, they're discontinued, so you can't get the outer part of the two-piece rotor anymore. So super clean car, has a problem. So once it warms up and does a loop change, it starts running really bad outside of idle. So I had coil packs here for it, so I did a brand new set of split fire coil packs and deleted the igniter. That didn't fix the issue with the new plugs. So then I started taking a look at some of the signals. I looked at the MAF signals, I looked at the O2 signals. O2 signals were really bad. Took a look at them, they ended up being R33 GTR O2 sensors. Real nightmare to get those out. So I said, fuck it, pull the valve covers off, send them out to get powder coated, pulled off all the piping. As I'm digging into the car, I discover they're not factory turbo manifolds, they're HKS cast manifolds. It has HKS 2530 turbos. It has all HKS piping. Took a better look at the cams. It's got HKS 264 8.7 millimeter, like a medium lift cam. Nothing too choppy. Titanium turbo elbows, titanium downpipe, HKS catalytic converter, and a Fujisobo titanium exhaust system. So I found about $10,000 worth of parts on this car that aren't supposed to really be on this car. It was supposed to be a stock car. Makes it super clean. That's where I was just doing some metering. Real clean car, like super clean, beautiful paint job. So underneath, real clean, stock drive shaft car. I don't think it was like crazy power. I bet this is a 500 horsepower GTR, but yeah, titanium exhaust, HKS catalytic converter. I'm gonna get rid of that. Titanium downpipes, braided stainless clutch line. It's a good wipe down, but no rust, no nothing. Super clean car. No arguments. All the fluids I drained, nice and clean, no shavings. Compression tested it, it's healthy. Which takes me to the point. The O2 sensors that were in it were the wrong for this ECU. This ECU is an R33 V-Spec ECU from a 1997, and this is a 1995. So what happened was, I got a feeling this had a cool ECU in it, and they swapped it and they threw stock injectors back in it, and that's probably why it's running so choppy, because it's got aftermarket turbos, aftermarket cams, and just not working. So also what I did was I rebuilt the factory injectors before I knew of these parts. I did a fuel filter, and I replaced the fuel pump, and I did the 2-stage fuel pump bypass in the back. So it's got a 340 liter per hour fuel pump in her now, and yeah, it runs at constant 12 volts, not switched power. Like the factory pump is a 2-speed pump, so you can't put them, you can't put a factory, or you can't put an aftermarket single-speed pump and run them off of these things. They burn out. A lot of people do it anyhow, but it's not the right way of doing it. Gonna clean up this plastic. It's all faded, it's just older. The front lip I took off the car. Got a little crack right here, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna vinyl. Well, they sell a carbon fiber insert for here. I might do that. So the lip that was on it was painted, and through shipping it got spidered. So they're supposed to be clad, and they painted it, and they did a thin layer of like a Bondo coat on it. So I put some aircraft remover on this to strip the paint, because I do want to save this. It's a nice factory lip. It's a Series 3 lip, and that's a Series 3 front bumper, but I thought it was just going to strip right off. I have to chip all this off. Luckily they didn't do anything in these areas. This is just paint only in here. That's the only spot that has a crack, but it's a salvageable lip. But those lips are like $500 some now, so it's worth fixing up. So on this thing here, like, oh, I gotta get a new manifold for it as well. But just waiting on a couple more parts to come in, and getting ready to wrap her up. That's the motor all the way back. It's a mess right now, but I'm gonna actually work on her tomorrow, get some stuff tidied up, and then try to get her up and running soon. I'm just gonna run it off the Power FC in this one, an RB26 Power FC. I have another Power FC, but I'm not gonna use it on this. It's just too old of a system. That, and I don't have the sensors and stuff for it, so if I waste $400 or $500 on all that crap, I'm still working with a dinosaur ECU. I'm a Haltech dealer, Haltech. I'm probably just gonna do a Platinum Pro in this. Yes, the Elite is a much better system, but I'm not going for anything crazy, so I'll do a Haltech Platinum Pro with a auto drain 24-to-1 CAS and a WB1 Haltech CAN bus wideband, and just run it like that. Just delete the maps and throw a wideband in her. That catalytic converter that's under here, that HKS cat, I think it's $1,300. It's insane. But I just don't need to have a cat, so it's just stuff that we have to worry about and clogging up, and it's just better not to have it. So I'll get rid of the cat, and come on guys, and just delete it, delete the maps, and get that thing tuned out. And I don't want to make crazy power on it, like 450, 500 horsepower is plenty on something like that. Simple setup. Be nice. Let's take you into the garage. Alright, I don't even know where I left off at. It's been about a week since I did my last bit of filming. I pulled the manifold off the Patrol because the aftermarket manifold that I purchased came in. I did have to notch the motor mount down a little bit further, but it actually fits and clears really nice, and that's like a $500 eBay manifold. The turbo does hit the valve cover right there, barely. Came up with a solution for that. I'm gonna show you what that looks like and drop a picture right here. Yeah, that's pretty cool. We just sent a Vibrant T4 flange over to the CNC shop, and I had them do 1/8 on the one side, 1/2 inch on the other. They'll kick the turbo where it's actually perfectly level and clear the valve cover by about a 1/2 inch. Fuel lines are done. Coolant lines are done, except for I just got to connect them to my connector, waiting on some parts to come back from powder coat. Got a bunch of my map sensors ran, boost controller. That's boost controller. That's the four-wheel drive one over there. Got these cool little brackets that I mounted them on. But I need longer hardware for this one. But yeah, so everything's going along really nice. Trans is in. Just gotta send the drive shafts out to get done. I'm lazy. So on this here, there's my front knuckles. So I pulled the axle out and sent that out to get redone, both of them. And then I don't like the way the ball joints feel on those, so I'm gonna put new ball joints in it. I'm also gonna do not ball joints, wheel bearings. I'm also gonna do lower ball joints on this while it's out. So I don't know if I told you about this thing. So this is my stock R33 GTR, and you know, it came with a stock computer. And once it gets warm, it starts running like crap. Compression tested it. It's nice. It's not great. It's not like, you know, it's a used motor. It's not like it was just at a machine shop, but it's good. A lot of the hoses were kind of beat up underneath of it, so just doing some maintenance on it. And as I'm getting into it, I keep discovering more and more parts. Like I knew that, like, so it has like a $5,000 exhaust system. Oh, probably 10,000. Because HKS turbo manifolds hiding underneath those stock covers, HKS 2530 turbos, HKS camshafts, all HKS piping. It has titanium turbo elbows, titanium downpipes, an HKS catalytic converter, and a Fujitsu titanium exhaust. Just to make sure that everything was, well, I wanted to pull the intake off so I can get it painted. And I pulled the valve covers off to get those powder coated because they look like crap. So that's what I'm doing now. But for shits and giggles, I got one of these eBay hose kits. Great hoses. They're like the G Plus ones. They really are. There's nothing wrong with them. Take the clamps that they give you and just throw them right in the trash. That's the only problem with everything. So that's every bit of heater hoses and every hose underneath the side of the motor on this side. I already had radiator hoses for this thing. And the only hoses that didn't come in the kit, besides the radiator hoses, are the two hoses that go from here to the valve cover to here. I can make those myself out of just AN6 flex line. It's just 3/8 line, so I got plenty of the black line for that, so that'll look good. It was missing a fan shroud, so I bought a brand new fan shroud for it. It was only $100 shipped, so did really well on that. So I'm at a standstill on this as far as putting the motor back together, because of all the crap that I have out for powder coat. I can't get the turbo side together, but I can get the intake side back together here. This would have been cool to use, but when I machined those motor mount brackets to relocate the motor back further, it kind of just put the turbo right where those AC lines are. But that would be cool for someone who's looking to go for a T4 with a divide on a stock manifold and just put it up high. Look, it looked really cool on there. If anyone wants to buy it, let me know. I'll sell it to you. So what I'm gonna do on this is I'm gonna get the throttle bodies back on, but let's talk about throttle bodies. Never clean them. Never clean them. I got a little bit of brake cleaner out. I just wiped around the surfaces here where the gaskets go, and a little bit I wiped around the top, but all that inside, it's okay to blow them out, but all that gunk, do not take it off. Leave it on. Take it off. They have a coating on these things, and if you take it off, it never idles right. So it's just best to leave it the way it is, or buy brand new ones, and I don't want to spend that kind of money on that. So I'm gonna go ahead and get those back on and start dressing up the intake here.